we gonna discuss about agriculture gearing up towards digitalization. And before that, I would like to invite my president, Dr. Gopal, to say a few words before we go to our speaker today. Dr. Gopal.
Hello, yeah. Good evening. Thank you, Ilan. Elorukum Malay Wanakam. On behalf of MAICCI, I would like to thank Mr. Ilan being a moderator today, and also like to thank Mr. Dato ATK, the Secretary General of MAICCI, for bringing our esteemed panel from esteemed organization is MDEC. Mr. Navin Sinatambi is with us. Basically, is going to talk about agriculture, basically not agriculture alone, bringing agriculture and digital together in doing agriculture business in Malaysia in a different way of doing things, which means by bringing digital into the agriculture, we can see extra income. That is the quite an exciting event, I believe so, because everybody is looking now towards approaching the agriculture business. I think Ilan is in the better position to be a moderator today, although he hasn't got any knowledge in agriculture, I believe, or he's doing an excellent gardening job at home. Even then, I would like to welcome all our members in MAICCI, state chambers, secretaries, our fellow members of Indian MAICCI chamber, and also our non-members from Malaysia. Would like to have the thorough, or rather the actual digital agriculture business where Mr. Surya Navin is going to explain. I believe it's going to be a very educational and also business-oriented things. And thank you very much. Back to you, Mr. Ilan. Believe we can do a wonderful job today.
Nandri, Dato.
Yes.
Of course, next, before we move on, I would like to introduce, of course, all of us are familiar with our MAICCI Secretary General, Dr. A.T. Kumararaja, who is also with us, and Mr. Selva Nagapan, Managing Director of Knowledge Group. Thank you, Selva, for hosting us for all this while and also today. And of course, agriculture in COVID-19 pandemic season, agriculture in Solomode, that has been one of, I think, the lifeline of the entire, not only the nation, the world. Anything stopped. They've stopped everything, but not agriculture. Agriculture was going on. And now, post-19, a new norm, and even before COVID-19, I think there was a lot of things happening in the agricultural scene. And one of it is digitalization. And this is, I think, the last couple of years, the digitalization in agriculture, IR 4.0 in agriculture. So all this has been the buzzwords. Of course, everybody is talking about it. But today we have Mr. Navin Sinatambi from MDEC. And so we hope to get more enlightenment from Mr. Navin on digitalization in agriculture. Mr. Navin is Senior Principal Lead of Data Ecosystem Development Division, DEDD, in MDEC, overseeing disruptive technologies such as Internet of Things, Big Data Analytics, and Artificial Intelligence as key innovators and enablers across many fields, not only agriculture. I was told that, healthcare, he also handles healthcare, logistics, human resource, and many other different industries. But of course, today our highlight is about agriculture. And without any, just a bit more. Navin has about 15 years of industry experience in IT, and I assume it's IT. And he holds masters in electronics engineering, majoring in telecommunications from Multimedia University. So welcome, Mr. Navin, and thank you, brother, for being with us today. It is our pleasure to have you here. And okay, Navin, jumping straight into the crux of the meeting today, so can you give us an introduction into agriculture and digitalization? What are the, I mean, I can give you about, 15, 20 minutes. Take all your time. Uh, give the intros. What are the things? What are the major things which is happening? Where MDEC is playing its role? What is doing? All right. Okay. The platform is yours, Naveen.
So thank you so much, Mr. Ilan, and எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம். Dato, thank you so much, MAICCI leads to have me on board to speak a little bit on agriculture. I may not know everything, but I will be the best person to share everything I know to you today. Okay. So a little bit on
Thank you.
MDEC. MDEC is a government agency reporting to KKMM. Our mandate is to drive digital economy and digital transformation for the country. Okay, one of the focus areas for me is agriculture. And தமிழர்களுக்கு சொல்ல போனா one of the closest sector to our heart since the longest time ever is agriculture. So when Mr. Ilan asked me a little bit of background on agriculture, okay, 30 years ago, the agriculture GDP, the contribution to the Malaysian economy was 28%. Today, as we speak, the GDP contribution in 2018 is 7.3, which means in 30 years, the GDP has dropped 20%. And I can tell you, if we don't do anything about it, in about 20 years down the road, we will not remember agriculture. Import, okay, when we say food import, so Malaysia imports a lot of food together with all the countries, which means now when people say, we are importing, yes, we are exporting. Now, when we import food, what it means is we are not producing enough food. Why? Is it because of land? Or is it because a younger generation are just not interested into farming? Now, agriculture has a lot of challenges. I will not say problems, challenges. One challenge. Now, it's a question that I'm asking the floor. For those who have kids, யார் யாருக்கு குழந்தைங்க பிள்ளைங்கள் இருந்தாலும், will you allow your kid to be a farmer, or would you want your kid to be a farmer? Standard up பிள்ளைங்க என்ன சொல்றோம்னா is, yeah, why don't you be a lawyer, engineer? Why? Number one, prestige. Number two, of course, income. In the mindset, agriculture is not going to give you a high income. Number two, agriculture is taught as sweat. It's filled with sweat. It's a lot of hard work. You need to kill yourself with labor. It's not sexy. To make it very simple, agriculture is not a sexy sector. But that is a very wrong statement. It's a very wrong statement. When I first started going to agriculture, the thought was, it's hot sun, it's a waste of time. No. Let me tell you, on average, on average, an agriculture-based person or a farmer earns, on average, again, 3,000 to 5,000 ringgit minimum, which is equivalent to the salary of someone who works in the office under the aircon. Now, again, perception is you have to sweat under the sun to get this amount of money. No. So I have done agriculture projects. So MDEC, being in MDEC, one of my charter is to drive sectorial projects or use digital technologies to do projects. The reason why we do that is, okay, for those who are in agriculture, முதலாவது உங்களுக்கு ஒரு பெரிய வணக்கம். And a பெரிய thank you. Why? Because of you, we are having food to eat. When Malaysia and the world got hit by COVID, எல்லாரும் வந்து, oh, how am I going to get food? Right? At that point of time, agriculture was the most wonderful sector to go into. Now, when we go to the market, now what we buy? Vegetable, fish, chicken. But for a farmer, he does not need to buy that because he's planting it at the back of his house. The price of fisheries right now is double compared to what it was before COVID. But Malaysians, let's talk about Malaysians alone. We are still happy to pay that amount of money, which means agriculture now, before and after this is a sector which is never going to die. The biggest problem is perception. People think it's not sexy. Now, based on experience, so I've done projects with chili, chicken, aquaculture, and green vegetables. Chili farmers in Kuala Langai, Kuala Langat is Malaysia's biggest chili producer. Yeah, for your information. The farmers earn about 8,000 ringgit net every month using digital technologies. You know what's the wonderful part? So when the Prime Minister announced, you guys cannot go out of the house, so everyone got worried. How am I going to work? But the farmers who did the projects with us in PPK Langat was actually smiling. Not because of the virus, was smiling because they were able to monitor their farm from where they are, from their house. Simpler சொல்லணும்னா, they can know when to water their plants, what's the current health status of their plants, when to feed the plants with fertilizers, and even when to harvest the plants. You don't need to go to the farm. Of course, digital is not everything. You still need manpower. Why? I can't fly an aeroplane and then harvest the fruits. No, you still need manpower. So what we always secondary we think is, oh, when digital comes into play, people are going to lose job. It's right and it's also wrong. Right, because yeah, it's probably going to replace humans. At the same time, it's also wrong because it's going to train or upskill humans. Last time, probably I need 2 workers per acre of land, whether it's for chili, green vegetable, whatever it is, you need 2 farmers on average. Yeah. Now I need the same 2 workers, but not to go to the farm, to monitor their mobile phone on the health status of the farm. Simple. So which means I'm not just telling them, okay, pluck, chankul, or whatever not. I'm telling them, hey, use, read the data, capture and understand the data, and then do the next step. So if you know there is lack of water in the tank, it's time for you to on the switch to give pressure to pump in more water to the tank. As simple as that. Now, younger generation, of course, as what our parents tell us, lawyer, engineer. Younger generation always want to do something cool. My kid, for example, is very much into gadgets. I'm very sure a lot of kids are on the same ground. So if kids like gadget, let them play with gadget. What I mean is, younger generation nowadays like technology, PS4, drones, whatever. Speaking about drones, now, if younger generation want to go into technology, encourage them. If they want to go to agriculture, simple. Just give them a drone or send them for a drone course, get a certificate, get a diploma on drone, and then get them to be a drone pilot. A drone pilot is actually a career which pays quite well, about 6,000 ringgit a month. Now, using drones, what can you do? You can control. It's not about just flying airplanes in the sky. No, it's about spraying pesticide. It's about capturing pictures of the plant to know whether the plant is healthy or not. These are actually agriculture work. Now, question to you all. Now, in Malaysia, in agriculture alone, there's about 1.74 million employments, which is also including workers, factory workers and all that. Out of that, 46% of them are actually active farmers. Active farmers means farmers on the ground planting. And that 46% is about 800,000 farmers. Now, sadly, how many of them are really farming? It's only about 30%, which when you calculate, sums up to about 175,000 people. Now, imagine 175,000 farmers producing that amount of food to feed over 31 million Malaysians. எங்க பத்த போகுது? So the point is, it's a sector with a lot of opportunities. Now, to members of the chamber, so you can ask me, Aman, Naveen, yeah, these are great numbers. So what is it there for me? Simple. If you want to go into agriculture, contact me. Because number one, some of you all have businesses going on. Of course, we all face the same challenge. Perhaps you want to look at a side income. Agriculture could be a sector. Because food is a sector which is never going to die. Not now, not forever. Number two, so let's say, hey, you know what? I'm going to just quit job and do look at retirement plan, going into agriculture full time. Now, perception again, I need 10 acres, 20 acres. No, please. தப்பா நீங்க எல்லாரும் தப்பா கணக்கு போடுறீங்க. You only need 1 or 2 acres. Test agriculture, test your skills. Once you succeed, automatically you will scale yourself. Because when you test, when you produce enough, use that model to get more land, and there are land available. Another perception among Indians, sorry to say, I'm just sharing as a, being an Indian myself, நம்மள நினைக்கிறோம் there's a breakdown, there's a quota for Indians. No, no, no. Anyone can submit proposal, anyone can submit the problem statements to Ministry of Agriculture or even to MDEC. Let us tell you what to do. Like I said, I'm not saying I know everything, but I know a little bit more to help all of you. Secondly, let's say you are a technology company. Tell you what, submit proposals to me. Let me evaluate. As long as you have a demand and it's scalable, let's do a project. Now, most of the time when you go to Ministry of Agriculture, all we ask for is money. It's normal. I would do that. It's a normal thing. Other தப்புன்னு இல்லை. But being in such a tight economic situation, it's a bit tough for government to approve such requests. However, let's say you digitalize your plantation. That means you add sensors to monitor water, to have weather sensors to tell you when it's raining, so that if it's raining, you don't know to water your plants. And these are local made technologies here. Again, the perception is I need to get technology from China, from US. No, that's old story. There are tons of Malaysian companies who can offer you this right now, just a call away, right now. Okay. So when you digitalize that, it will give you better returns. Now, when you try a pilot on your own, you see improvement of, let's say, 10%. Wonderful. That's all you need. Take that paperwork, take the results, submit your proposals to Ministry of Agriculture or even MDEC, and your request will be fulfilled. So with that, Dato, Ilan, I think I've summarized enough. I will share a little bit more on the opportunities available for Indians specifically. So there is lands available, there is money available, but again, when you ask money, we need to prove something first before we ask that. And there's training courses also available. Example, drone technology. Now, I myself, one of the initiatives by MDEC is called e-Ladang. See, the word E means electronic. It's a new term called digital. So everything, when you add the word E in front, becomes electronic, e-mail. E-Ladang means digital agriculture. Now, the moment you add a sensor to your water tank, it will tell you the amount of water, when to water the plants, and when not to water the plants. Because when you water plants too much, you kill the plants, which means you are burning off your income. Now, those projects, based on experience that we have tried, farmers are able to get from 8 to 10,000 ringgit net every month. Simple. If they can do it, why not you? That's the question. That's the same question I asked myself, because eventually one fine day, not very long now, one fine day I would want to go into farming also. எல்லாமே பேசிட்டு நம்ம செய்யாம இருந்தா எப்படி? So yeah.
Okay, thank you, Naveen. அது நல்ல ஒரு கருத்து சொன்னீங்க. அதாவது இந்த இந்தியன்ஸ் மலேசியாவுக்கு வந்து எப்படி வந்தாங்கன்னா பாத்தீங்கன்னா, most of them to work in the ladangs in the states, as farmers. So this is the agriculture field. That is where most of us, I think, our forefathers were brought in, and I think this is very much in our DNA. நம்ம DNA ல வந்து இது வந்து part of it, farming. I think even Dato சொன்னாரு, அதாவது இல்லனுக்கு வந்து agriculture தெரியுமான்ட்டு, but எனக்கு தெரியாது, but my family, a lot of them are farmers. Even in Ternakkan, there are some. But எல்லாம், as Naveen நீங்க சொன்ன மாதிரி, இந்த agriculture வந்து நம்ம இவ்வளவு நாள் எப்படி ஒரு பார்த்தோம்னா, அது வந்து not something which is lucrative போட்டுருங்க, ஒரு dignified அதை வந்து நம்ம யாரும் பார்க்கல. I think it's about time that perception, அந்த perception வந்து இப்ப நம்ம மாத்தணும். And அது இதுல வந்து now அக்ரிகல்ச்சர்ல நம்ம போனா அந்த அக்ரிகல்ச்சர் வந்து பழைய முறையிலேயே செய்யாம புது முறையில எப்படி நம்ம செய்யறது. அதாவது நீங்க கருத்து சொன்னீங்க, நானும் படிச்சிருக்கேன். அதாவது முந்தி வந்து இது ஃபீல்ட்லாம் வந்து ஃபார்ம்லாம் வந்து அந்த காலத்துல வந்து ரெண்டு டோங்க பிடிச்சிக்கிட்டு அப்படியே நடந்துட்டு தண்ணி ஊத்திட்டு இருப்பாங்க. அப்புறம் அதை வந்து ஒரு அளவுக்கு டெக்னாலஜின்ட்டு மெக்கனைஸ் பண்ணி பைப்ஸ் ஓட்டி and then அந்த பைப்ல வந்து கரெக்டா காலையில ஒரு வாட்டி தண்ணியை திறந்து விடுவாங்க, ராத்திரி ஒரு வாட்டி தண்ணியை திறந்து விடுவாங்க. அப்புறம் என்ன ஆச்சுன்னா அதையும் வந்து ஆட்டோமேட் பண்ணாங்க. காலையில அதே சொந்தமா தண்ணி திறந்துக்கும், ராத்திரி தண்ணி திறந்துக்கும். பட் டிஜிட்டலைசேஷன் எப்படி ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுது அப்படின்னா, ஐ திங்க் யூ said it very clearly. எப்படி ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுதுன்னா, அந்த இன்னைக்கு வந்து மழை பெஞ்சா, அதாவது இந்த ஒரு செடிக்கு வந்து இவ்வளவு தண்ணி தான் வேணும்னு இருக்கு. ஓகே, அப்ப அந்த மழை பெய்யும் போது தண்ணியும் கூடயும் போகக்கூடாது. ஸோ அதே நேரத்துல வந்து மழை இல்லைன்னா ட்ரவுட் டைம்ல வந்து தண்ணி வந்து கொஞ்சம் கூட கொடுக்கணும். நார்மல் டைம்ல வந்து தண்ணி கரெக்டா கொடுக்கணும். ஸோ அந்த சென்சஸ் பாய்ச்சி எவ்வளவு தண்ணி கொடுக்கறது, என்ன மாதிரியான வாட்டரிங் சிஸ்டம் நம்ம வச்சிருக்கோம், அது தட் இஸ் ஐ திங்க் த எசென்ஷியல் தட் core of the whole digitalization one aspect la. Okay, so அது வந்து ரொம்ப நல்லா கிளியரா சொன்னீங்க. அடுத்தது வந்து okay, watering base and of course actually I was quite surprised to hear that we have about 1.7 million farmers in the country, or people in the agricultural field. So that is almost about 5% of our population. So that's I mean I don't know whether that's actually below or above, I'm not very sure, but looks like it's a very good figure la. And anyway, we don't have any question for now, but what I want to see is, okay, now I'm a farmer. I'm a farmer. Now I want to, எனக்கு வந்து இப்போ farmer வச்சுக்கணும். இந்த COVID-19 seasonல வந்து a lot of people, industries, shut down, people have lost jobs. So I want to start farming, agriculture industry la vandu na போலாம்னு இருக்கேன். So as a startup, MDEC வந்து எனக்கு எப்படி ஹெல்ப் பண்ணும்? அதாவது இந்த டிஜிட்டலைசேஷன்ல வந்து MDEC வந்து now I can go to the Ministry of Agriculture to get என்ன இது, அதாவது சில்லி நட போறனோ, தௌகி நட போறனோ, சாவி நட போறனோ, அதுக்குள்ள seed and the rest I can get it from Ministry of Agriculture. And then of course the other side I need a land, 2 acres of land or 1 acre or 2 acres of land. How at that point of time, how MDEC will help me in digitalization?
Okay. Good question, Mr. Ilan. See, நிறைய வெபினார் நீங்க எல்லாரும் அட்டெண்ட் பண்ணியிருந்தா நிறைய பேர் வந்து நிறைய சொல்லுவாங்க. You can do Google research and there's a lot of things, but no one actually tells you what to do. எல்லாரும் வந்து Ministry of Agriculture போங்க. Ministry of Agriculture is huge. Who to see and where to see is another big question, right? So let me tell you in very simple terms. Just to backtrack a bit. So the national initiative that I lead with MDEC is called e-Ladang again. So how can we use digital technologies such as Internet of Things, big data analytics, artificial intelligence into farming, so that எங்களோட deliverables, எங்களோட மைண்ட் வந்து ரெண்டே எடுத்தோம். How can farmers improve their productivity? How can farmers improve their income? That's one. Number two, how can we create more job opportunities in the agriculture sector? That's it. All right, that's it. Now, if you want to go into agriculture right now, let me talk from a non-MDEC perspective and then what MDEC can do. Number one, Google for PPK. PPK stands for Persatuan Peladang Kawasan. So every state has about 5 or 6 PPKs. PPKs are called Association of Farmers. Okay. So example, PPK Kuala Lagat, PPK Semenyi, PPK Sandakan. So every state has about 4 or 5. Look for your nearest PPK. Go and register them. That's the first thing you do. Number two, of course, you need land. நிறைய பேர் வந்து we don't know where to go for land. Of course, you can write into Ministry of Agriculture, but it's going to take time. Okay. To make it fast, the best person, the fastest way to give you all these answers is PPK. Because every PPK is given an allocation, a budget, at the same time land. Now, you would have heard this term called TKPM, Taman Kekal Pengeluaran Makanan. So every PPK is given about, let's say, example, 50 to 100 acres for them to give to their members. Okay. So in return, of course, there's a win-win for everyone. In return, you can always ask me, so why is PPK doing this for free? Simple. When you register as a member under PPK Laman, you have access to land. They will give you few areas of land, 1 acre, 2 acre, depends on your request. Number two, you get free training. See, like Mr. Elan said, I don't know agriculture. I didn't study agriculture. I'm a master's engineering student. But the reason I'm saying that you don't need to understand agriculture to do agriculture. No. Yara Vinol Sela. Yeah. Simple as on average, Malaysian farmers are 70 years old, okay, on average. If a 70-year-old person can do the work, and we do it. Simple questions. So இதுக்கு வந்து நீங்க மாஸ்டர்ஸ் PhD now when you want to digitalize your plantation, that means again when you say digital, it's a very big word. நிறைய பேர் இப்போ சிம்பிளா சொன்னா I tell people the best example for digital is your smartwatch. A lot of people use smartwatch to monitor their heartbeat and everything. That is the best example for digital. Because the moment you see your heartbeat is too high, in your mind, it processes and say, hey Navin, your cholesterol is high, stop taking mutton and chicken. Simple. Digital. Because it sends the data to your email and then it bounces back to you. Other digital. The same thing, the concept that we're doing for farming. For example, when you say saving of money, for those who have been to a chili plantation, great. For those who have not, any other time of the, just open YouTube and see how it's done. There's 3 tanks. 2 tanks for fertilizers. Another budget A, budget B. One of the tank, tani. So you're supposed, if I take 1 scoop of budget A and add to the water, I am supposed to take 1 scoop of budget B and add to the water. Correct? But the problem, because it's manual and it's foreign labor intensive, most of the time I take 1 scoop, I forget someone calls, I take 3 scoop. Now, you will still get, example, chili. You will still get chili, but you'll get a grade C chili which sells at 2 ringgit. But if you have mixed it correctly, you will get chili at grade A which sells at 9 ringgit. Now, the 7 ringgit loss between grade A and C is because of our manual mistake. So that's why we are suggesting use digital, because number one, you get chili at grade A which sells higher, which means better profit for you. Number two, 1 tank of fertilizers is about 300 ringgit. If you waste it, it's because it's our mistake. How can we reduce all that? Because agriculture, that's the word in Tamil. Yeah. So every single thing that you misuse or you waste is it's income. So how can you measure that? Digitalize. So when you go to PPK, you get yourself access to land, to training. PPK will also be guarantor. To tell that again, Mr. Elan, நிறைய பேருக்கு வந்து guarantor தேவை. Example, ஒரு loan எடுக்கிற guarantor. That's the word. தமிழ் படத்துல நிறைய பார்ப்போம். So PPK will be your guarantor, which means when normal, if you go to MOA, it probably take 1 month. But when PPK becomes your guarantor, it takes within a week, maximum of 5 days. Now, that's one. Lastly, when you want to digitalize, நிறைய பேருக்கு திருப்பி நம்ம சொன்ன மாதிரி you don't know நான் என்ன செய்யறது நவீன், நான் என்ன செய்யறது. Simple. என் கேள்வி ஒண்ணே ஒன்று. Tell me what is your problem statement. Example, when the chili farmers in Banting came to MDEC, they told us, Naveen, my chili quality is decreasing. So I asked them why. What affects the quality of chili? They told me it's the mixture of the budget, the fertilizers. So we automated them. We digitalized them. And farmers were able to reduce so much. From earning 3,000 to 4,000 ringgit, they're earning double. And I'm a proof of that. I'm a proof of that. Okay, if you have time, go to PPK Langan, see for yourself. Of course, get a permission from PDRM. Okay, that's one. Now, tell me your problem statement so that I can tell you, look, for this problem statement, these are the technologies that you can check. And also, these are the potential technology partners you can get. Now, once you do digitalization, again, don't dream big, but don't think big yet. Do for 1 acre or 2 acre first. When you see results, improvement of income, productivity, then you don't need to go to MOA. go to PPK Langan because again, they will be your guarantor to get the amount of money, extra land. So trading in terms of e-ladang, so when we do digital projects, it's not about just doing digital and say, wow, great. No, we also train younger generation on how to use, to fix these sensors so that eventually if something goes wrong, I don't need to call the contractor. This younger generation can program it themselves. Now I'm actually upskilling the younger generation. That's one way. So we train the younger generation on how to use these technologies. So that's the summary of it, Mr. Ilan.
I mean, you spoke about basically how, sometimes the example which you gave is farmers from Kuala Lumpur, they came with a problem and then you provided the solution. So basically what you do in MDEC is you provide solution for problem faced by farmers, or let's say new farmers, I want to start my farming. You advise me what are the things to do, what are, like watering, how to water, how to set up the system, the whole watering system. And then, now like earlier you mentioned, you spoke about drone, how they use drone. So all this digitalization, you advise them what are the things to be done for startup, or only when people have problem, they come to you and you give them a solution. Or how do you work about this?
Actually, Dato, sorry, Mr. Ilan, the honest answer is I do both.
Okay.
I would say 60% of the task, the mandate is when you have a problem statement, I tell you what are the statements people, what they can do, what they should do, and what they should not do. So to make it simple, to members of MAICCI, I'm telling you all right now, I do both. So sometimes you're not sure where to start, it's okay. Come and talk to me. Like I said, I'm not the best person to tell you everything, but I'll tell you whatever I do.
All right. Now taking
Okay,
few questions.
there's also a question.
Yeah.
On,
Okay. That one is, I think, how to start on organic farming. So organic farming, I don't know, because this is digitalization, but very quickly, maybe if you want to address that.
sorry, what's the question again?
How to start on organic farming?
Okay.
How
See,
to
when you
start
say
on
organic,
organic farming? So I
organic
think it's a
farming is
very
very,
general question, but I think if you can just spend 1 or 2 minutes on it, like, because we are speaking about digitalization today. So,
okay. See, end of the day, it's not everything about digitalization. Of course, you have, I can't tell a 70-year-old uncle to fly a drone. No, we start step
definitely.
by step. We start step by step. So let's say if you want to go into organic farming. Number one, my suggestion, go to YouTube. There's a thing called hydroponic. Now, organic means you do not use chemicals, and everything you use in agriculture is organic based. From the fertilizers, from the pest control spray, from your seeds, is all organic. The best classic example for you to see is hydroponics. One of the partners that we work with, you can Google them. They're called Toclan, Toclan. I mean, just an example. At least you know where to start. So that's organic farming. So at least you know where to start. Just Google that first. And if you want to go into organic farming, PPKs will be also a good suggestion. But for a start, Google for Toclan or hydroponics. So there's also a question that I read earlier. So some of MAICCI members are also technology solution providers. So for these technology solution providers, if you have any form of technology, and if you have a demand means you have a farmer or an association that you want to do the project with, come and talk to me, please. See, like I told Dato 80K earlier and Dato Gopal, we do not target, the word is target, we do not target the big boys. We want to help low income farmers. At the same time, we want to help the low and mid tier companies. Yeah, so I'm offering a platform for everyone. You don't need if you're a small company, doesn't mean you're going to get rejected. No, not at all. The companies that I did project with in PPK Langat are very small companies. They are called startup companies. If they can, it can. Why not us? So, Mr. Ilan.
There's another question here. I'm into biofertilizers made from EFB. What would be your suggestions towards digitalization of my business?
Okay, when you say biofertilizers, what is your target crop?
Okay.
For example, when you say biocrop, just so that everyone understands, again, the little bit I know. So you're using biological composites to feed plants. Your coconut shell, you process all that, you feed plants into that. So the best person you could speak to in this would be Mardi. Mardi is the one who does research on how do I hybrid this on biological plantation, biomass composite. Mardi would be the best one to talk to. But when you say digitalize that, of course, if you could tell me what crop that you're working at, you're working, for example, you tell me pineapple, then I can give you a list of what you can consider.
Okay. All right. The next one, I mean, in digitalization, or is digitalization expensive? Because people have this perception that, when you talk about digitalization, industry 4.0 and everything, all these, they have this perception that this is a very, very expensive solution. Yeah. So is it expensive?
So to whoever asked the questions, again, very good question. Most of the events before MCO that we attended, people always say one word: it depends. I'm not going to tell you that today. Now, to start digitalization for a 1 acre land, at least a minimum of 10 to 15,000 ringgit. Of course, 10 to 15,000 at this point of time is a huge amount. But 10 to 15,000 ringgit investment will give you returns within 6 months. At the same time, you're also going to reduce your manpower, which is a saving for you, which means, in a very quick nutshell, in 6 to 8 months, you should get back your money. தமிழ்ல சொன்னா நீங்க போட்ட காசெல்லாம் 9 monthsக்குள்ள நீங்க எடுத்துடலாம்.
ஆமா. இல்ல அதான், ஏன்னா மைக்கை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் நம்மளோட ஒரு மெயின் இஷ்யூ, அதாவது ப்ராப்ளம் என்னன்னா, சேலஞ்சஸ் அப்படின்னு சொல்லும் போது என்னன்னா, இந்த மேன் பவர் ஃபாரின், ஏன்னா நம்ம யூஸ்வலி ஃபார்மர்ஸ்லாம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ரொம்ப பேர் ஃபாரின் ஒர்க்கர்ஸ் தான் பாய்க்கிறாங்க. So, I mean, of course, this solution is going to give us remedy for this, which is, less foreign workers, and then you're going to use technology. But in நீங்க சொன்ன மாதிரி initial investment வந்து கொஞ்சம் higher இருக்கும். But after that, once the first time, I think it's first time, one time investment. So அதுக்கப்புறம் I think you just continue with your this thing. Okay, next.
Maybe Mr. Ilan, I'll just add a little bit more. For those who ask the question, on average, the worker in agriculture land, foreign worker, earns about 1,200 ringgit. For 1 acre of land, you need about 2 workers. Okay, so let's say with digitalization, you cut 1 worker because you still need 1 worker to do harvesting, which is planting the seeds and the plants and all. So 1 worker for chili cycle is 6 months, right? So 1,002, I times it with 6 months. There itself, you save 7,000 ringgit.
Correct.
So, which means in another 6 months, you save another 7,002. 7,002, நீங்க போட்ட காசு நீங்க எடுத்துட்டீங்க.
அதே இதுல, on the same note, is there any funding available for this digitalization? Let's say if I want to do digitalization, is there funding available? Okay,
with regards to that, there are lots of funding support available by various agencies. So for those who have a proposal, who is not sure where to go to, again, this is the phase. I'll drop you my email. I will be happy to connect you to who will be able to help you financially.
Okay, all right, that's great.
Again, நீங்க கேக்குற for the Indians, தப்பா நினைச்சுக்காதீங்க. நீங்க கேக்குற amount வந்து number 1 practical இருக்கும், because most of the time when we submit proposal, this is agriculture, a very traditional sector. So make sure your proposal is within, okay, for plantation, we talk about cash crops. Cash crops mean chili, whatever normal vegetable plantation. It should not be more than 30,000. If your proposal is more than 30,000 for 1 acre, it's a waste. Farmers are not going to buy it. Now, when it comes to livestock, which is cow, chicken, and all that, that could go up to about 80,000 max. So if your proposal is more than that, and நிறைய பேர் வந்து when you submit proposal hundreds of thousands and immediately we reject it. So
Anyhow,
simple.
when they approach you with in regards to funding, you will advise them, right? You know what is
Of
the thing
course,
is
of course, of course.
before they, I mean, they
Yes,
are
yes,
being rejected. I hope
yeah,
you can help them
definitely. That's why I always tell
with the
people,
proposal.
write me the email first, so that I can tell you, look, this number is high. You may want to tweak the numbers.
All right. So we'll go to the next question. It says, how about technology solution provider for farmers or farming? Does MDEC help this group of people?
Yes, heavily.
Uh-huh.
So when we talk to farming associations, why? I need to understand the problems. Now, when we talk about problem statements, so what I do, let's say you tell me your problem is water. You need to treat the water better. Example, for chicken poultry, one of the problem statement was they are not able to monitor and treat the water. Chicken drinks the water, and when the diseases gets onto the water, and chicken dies. That's chicken poultry's problem. So what we do in MDEC is we advertise in newspaper, which covers all the solution providers, whether you're local, whether you're small, mid, big, anyone. So we'll advise you to come to a briefing room, we'll tell you the problem statement, and we'll take you for a site visit if MCO permits that. Now, if you cannot able to do a site visit, we'll do a virtual site visit. We'll just show you how it looks like. Then you submit proposals to us. Now, when you submit proposals, I got two questions. Number one, how many farmers are planting the same thing? For example, if you come and tell me, Naveen, I want to do a digitalized project for kacang panjang. My question is, in Malaysia, can you tell me how many kacang panjang farmers are there? If there's only 10, it's not worth to do a project. So for us, that is scalable. Number two, scalability is very important to MTech because I don't want to do one project and then clap hands and just do nothing about it. So for one project, I need to be able to develop many other projects. From one farmer, I need to be able to develop thousands of digital farmers. See, one fine day, எனக்கு வயசானதுக்கு அப்புறம் at least தமிழ் நிறைய சொல்லுவாங்க. At least my child will look like, yeah, Appa did that. So that's all for the country we need to do. And opportunity is available for everyone. For Indians out there, agriculture is something very close to our heart. If we cannot do it, I don't think so anyone can do it any better.
Basically, நல்லா சொன்னீங்க. Basically, it's supply and demand.
Yes.
If there is no demand, then no point of having the supply also.
Exactly.
Okay. Now the next question: what do you think about vertical farming, especially indoors? Example, 40-foot containers.
Yeah.
So, what is your take on that?
To the guys and girls who asked the question, vertical farming is really cool. It's nice. Vertical farming is also another way of organic farming because they rear all these vegetables in a cabin. The container of cabins, they rear that, they have neon lights. So it's organic. Whatever they spray is basically mist. It's another way of organic farming. Problem is it's very costly. The initial investment required for the container and the equipment for the vertical farming can be very costly. And secondly, not many associations are around on vertical farming. Vertical farming in other countries, example, Singapore, is very famous. The nearest I can think of. But in Malaysia, this is something very new. At the same time, the cost for vertical farming is also high. I'm not saying don't do it. If you want to do it, make sure you do it with the right demand. Example, let's say there is a big restaurant, a restaurant chain. If I can give example, let's say KFC, right? KFCs need salad. Talk to this chain, these big players, KFC, pizza and all that. Tell them that, hey, why don't you buy fresh vegetable? If KFC says yes, then go into vertical farming. Because at least you know for the amount of money you invest, you have a ready demand.
Okay.
Else you can still sell, but you have to look for buyers day by day.
All right. So basically, we are also talking about supply and demand again. The
Yes.
next question, yeah, I think Ravindra or Ravi, our good Ravi, is there any successful model farm using digital farming technology that is there any successful model farm using digital farming technology that we can visit in Selangor?
Yes.
Use our
Uh,
guide. So I think I mean, basically, before you answer that, maybe our Dato Gopal also is here, our president. One thing probably I can suggest is probably after MCO is lifted, maybe we can organize to such farm
Yeah.
where it's fully digitalized, and it will be an eye opener for us, whereby we can take a delegation from MAICCI. So over to you, sir.
Dato, to both Datos and many other Datos out there, my commitment today, and this is recorded, yeah. So once MCO is uplifted, I'm offering to take you all to a field trip. The place is called Teluk Mengkuau. Okay, all you need to do is just let me know when you want to come. We call this a satellite farm. It's a satellite farm by MDEC. It's one of our Ladang very first pilot projects for chili plantation. The association is called PPK Kuala Langat in Teluk Mengkuau, one of the most successful farmers. And they are always very happy to welcome delegates by MDEC. So for everyone out here, the moment MCO is uplifted, give me a ring. I myself will do a tour. I'll explain everything in simple terms. I will connect you to the directors. At least you can have a chat with them. It would be a very good trip.
Okay, that'll be good because our Ravi is also from Kuala Langat, so he'll be very,
Wonderful.
very happy to hear that. Okay, good evening, sir. I have a piece of land and interested in agriculture business. Any contact or farming programs in M? Besides digitalization, does MDEC offer any farming projects or programs?
We do
So,
offer trainings under Ladang training. For
Okay.
example, when we do a digital project, to give you a quick summary. So number one, we talk to Association of Farmers to understand problem. Then I advertise. People technology partners submit proposals. We do projects, we monitor results. So once I see results, what we do, we start training people, existing farmers, new farmers on how to use technology so that eventually they use these technologies in their farm. So let's say if you have a piece of land, you want to have some sort of training on what to do on digital elements. Yes, MDEC has this training program called Ladang Training. Okay, that is one. Number two, when it comes to land and when it comes to additional non-digital trainings, PPKs have that. The government actually allocates a certain amount of budget for every PPK to do training, to train members, to train them on upskilling and reskilling. So yes.
Okay. The next question is basically, I mean, of course, once we set up our digital equipments, is it expensive to maintain them? Breakdowns, maintenance.
Okay. For those who have not seen a sensor, okay, again, I myself, I'm very new in this space. Now, it takes only couple of ringgit. Okay, seriously, couple of ringgit, which is the price of teh tarik and roti canai or even nasi lemak, to maintain a sensor. A sensor is like a rod, like a thermometer. What you need to do is simple. Just take it out, clean the funnels inside, test the temperature, and put it back inside. That's it. The only maintenance will be costly per month is where there's a programming involved because it's a system, right? So let's say you take out the probe, that sensor, you need to calibrate again. That will cost you about 100 to 200 ringgit only. So again, perception, to start digital, you need about 10 to 15,000 ringgit per acre. To maintain digitalization, it's only 100 to 200 ringgit each time. And per year, you only need maintenance one time.
Yeah, I mean, that's very good to hear because actually I am in manufacturing. So, my industry, printing, it's one of my industries is under manufacturing. It's, printing, it comes under manufacturing. So machines, at one point of time, we moved from mechanical machines, printing machines to electronic printing machines. So what happened is printing machines, it has motherboards, it has a lot of sensors all over.
PCB.
Uh, the issue was at one point of time when the machine break down, sometimes the motherboard is more expensive than the machine.
Yeah.
So this I think is generally there as a perception among people whether the maintenance will be very, very high. I think that is the reason why the person is asking that question. Now, you spoke about funding earlier. Now, அது என்னன்னா நம்ம மக்கள் கிட்ட ஒரு இது ஒரு ஒரு இப்ப நம்ம ஃபண்டிங் பேசுறோம், அதாவது எம்டெக் இருக்கு, அக்ரிகல்ச்சர் மினிஸ்ட்ரி இருக்கு, எல்லாம் இருக்கு அப்படின்றோம். இது கோபி கடையில உட்காந்துட்டு ஒரு 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 பேச்சு ஓடும். என்ன அப்படின்னா, இது பாருங்க, அவங்க இந்தியர்களுக்கு வந்து ஒண்ணும் கொடுக்க மாட்டாங்க. ஃபண்டிங்னு வாங்க, ஏன்னா நம்ம போய் கேட்டா நம்மளுக்கு கிடைக்காது. டெக்னாலஜின்னு வாங்க, போய் கேட்டா நம்மளுக்கு கிடைக்காது. இந்தியர்களுக்கு ஒண்ணும் இருக்காது, ஒண்ணும் இல்ல. அப்படின்ற இந்த ஒரு கதை வந்து எப்போதும் ஓடிட்டு இருக்கு. ஸோ அது ஐ மீன் உங்களோட எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ்ல வாட் வுட் யூ சே அபவுட் திஸ்? I mean, it is generally going on in the coffee shop. So what is your take on this?
Okay, நான் கொஞ்சம் காம்ப்ளிகேட்டடான ஆன்சர் கொடுக்க போறேன். So it's right and it's also
கேள்வி வந்து அவ்வளவு காம்ப்ளிகேட்டடா இல்ல.
Okay, it's right னு ஏன் சொல்றேன்னா, it was true. அதாவது இந்தியன்ஸ்க்கு ஒரு ஒரு பட்ஜெட், ஒரு லிமிட்டேஷன், the word is limitation இருந்துச்சு. பழைய கதை. புது கதை is there is no such thing. There's no such thing. நான் வந்து எங்கேயும் பார்த்து பேசல, பட் ஒரு உதாரணத்துக்கு சொல்ற போனா the project that we did for PPK Langan, example, chili farming was with respective Malay colleague.
Okay.
Now the project in Penang where we did for aquaculture was for a Chinese farmer, a respective Chinese farmer. Now the project we did in Johor in Simpang Renggam for chicken poultry, தமிழ்ல கோழி பண்ணைன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க, was with an Indian farmer. So இப்ப நீங்க சொல்லுங்க, where is the limitation there? Now முன்ன இப்ப is two different things. Perception.
The limitation என்னன்னா, limitation வந்து இங்க தான்.
Yes, limitation இங்க தான். So இப்ப வந்து ஒரே வார்த்தை தாங்க. Whether you are different national, I mean different race or whatsoever, you fall under one umbrella. You are a Malaysian. If you are a Malaysian, you want to go into agriculture, come, let me know. I'll connect you to the right people. இன்னொரு உதாரணத்துக்கு போனா இப்ப நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா நான் தமிழ் பேசுறேன், உங்களுக்கு கண்டிப்பா தெரியும் நானே ஒரு இந்தியன். நானே ஒரு good example. I've been to agriculture digitalization project for close to 4 years and I'm enjoying it. If I can do it, it's a clear example. There's no limitation for Indians. Anyone can do it. Plus, agriculture, திருப்பியும் சொல்றேன், agriculture is a sector which is very close to every Indian out there.
All right. Okay, I mean that is a very favorable answer for us. ஏன்னா அது ஒரு நல்ல ஒரு பதில். அதே நேரத்துல வந்து எங்க ஒரு கம்ப்ளைண்ட் வந்தா அதை எங்களுக்கு வந்து ஃபண்ட் கிடைக்கல, அது கிடைக்கல அப்படின்னா நம்ம டத்தோ பிரசிடென்டும் டத்தோ செக்ஜனும் 2 பேரும் இங்க இதுல தான் இருக்காங்க. So they are listening to us. நவீன் கொடுக்கலனாலும் எங்க 2 புள்ளிங்களையும் நாங்க அனுப்பிடுவோம் ஃபண்டிங் வாங்குறதுக்கு. The next question, is there any contract farming available? I mean, from MDEC, can they approach, is there anything available?
Now, when you say contract farming, maybe some people don't really understand the meaning of contract farming. The farmers in PPK Langan, they are contract farmers. When we say contract farmers, so that everyone understands, contract farming and once you produce all your vegetables, you are going to sell that to pasar borong. That is not contract farming. Contract farming here means everything there will be you send it to a transporter, they will send it to all these marts, Maidin, Tesco, Jaya Store. They have a contract with these retail outlets. Those are contract farmers. And in Malaysia, 80% are contract farmers. So if you ask me whether MDEC has anything, contract farming is part of agriculture. So yes.
So So basically, if you are registered with Persatuan Peladang Kawasan, you know you are highly likely to be part of this contract farming.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
am I right to say that? Okay, that's good.
That's yes.
Okay, our Gokula Naidu Arumugam. Hi, sir. I'm a fresh starter to do farming. I like to do cow farm. Startup company again. Any foundation for farmer like me?
On cow farming.
Cow farming.
To be honest, you would need to Google for that because இடத்தை பொறுத்து இருக்கு. For example, when you say PPKs, right? PPKs have a forte. PPK Kuala Langat, their forte, the land is suitable for chili. PPK Pahang, their land is not so, example, yeah, their land is not so great. So what they do is they go into penternakan or poultry. That's where Pahang Raup is one of the biggest for cow poultry. So Google for the right PPK in your site because there will be one PPK on cow herds. There will. Every state has it.
இது Pahang Raupnu சொன்னோம்னா I thought they are famous for Musang King durian.
Oh, they are. I mean, like I said, they are famous for many things. Seri, for example, நீங்க Sarawak சொன்னீங்க, Sarawak is good for pepper. Example, yeah. But that does not mean Sarawak is only good for pepper. Sarawak is good for a lot of things. Pahang may not be good for example, chili, but they're great with poultry. They're great with durians. Terengganu has a forte and few things. So every state has a PPK. For example, if you are into cow rearing, then Google for the PPK. There will be.
All right, now, I mean, just out of mind a question. Now, durian, talking about durian, because durian, அது வந்து அந்த ripe ஆனோன உளுந்துரும்.
Yeah.
So, if anybody found any device or sensor to find when is, the right time to harvest durian?
So, Mr. Elan, in the project, before when we started the project, right, we were considering of paddy, rice, and also durian. The concern, not problem, the concern with durian is number one, it's a 3-year plantation. That means from the seed until the harvest of the fruit, it takes 3 years. Now, are technology companies going to wait for 3 years to see results? No. It's a very great, lucrative business, very lucrative, but it's a 3-year time. And so far, when you ask me whether there's a sensor to measure when the durian can get ripe or even the durian can be harvested faster, not yet. Not yet. Answer is not yet.
Okay. I mean, that is just okay. Next question from Mr. Alex Pandian. Drone tech usage which agriculture fields right. Basically, what he's trying to say is using drone tech, agriculture field give higher yield per acre. So basically, I think he wants to know whether using drone tech, you will have more effective, you can use drone tech more effectively with paddy farming or palm oil farming. That is the question.
Okay. Good question. When you say drone tech, one thing I need to highlight, most of the drone companies in Malaysia are Indian companies, are proud Indian companies. அது உங்க எல்லாருக்கும் தெரியும். So when you say Indians are not in tech, it's a wrong statement. Most of the drone players are Indians. Now, when you say it improves the yield, yes, because you're able to capture image whether the plant is having disease or not. You're able to check whether the land has enough water. There's a color coding. They call that geothermal imaging. Now, but again, whether paddy or palm oil, it's again your choice. But to use drone, it's only feasible to use drone if you have 5 acres and above. The cost of flying a drone is expensive. So if you have 1 to 2 acres, my suggestion, don't even consider drones because it's not cost effective. But when you have 5 acres and above, my personal suggestion would be paddy. Palm oil would be good, but palm oil means again, you would need a higher capacity drone because palm oil on average, the land size is tens of acres. Paddy is a minimum of 5 to 10. So it's my question back to you, what capacity drone do you have? That's the question.
All right. I mean, we are already approaching 9 o'clock. a few more questions. One is, see, during I mean, COVID, this particular issue was there. Big, I think this is from Facebook. More than farming,
Yeah.
I mean, like the story was in Cameron Highlands, where the farmers ready with all the supply, but this supply could not reach KL. Okay, that was the problem during the COVID-19 MCO.
Yeah.
So delivery, the supply chain logistics seems to be a bigger problem. So how do you, I mean, how do you actually digitalize that portion and make supply chain and logistic better?
See, of all the many challenges faced in agriculture sector, it's lucrative, but they also challenges. One of the challenges for farmers, especially Cameron Highlands, was there was a disconnected supply chain. Supply chain is all about now, to make it very simple, farmers, when they produce this amount of yield or vegetables, right? They usually go to Pasar Borong and sell, or they sell to all these nearest shops. But during MC, of course, you can't travel. So digital supply chain means it's a link. That means a farmer collects everything, consolidates, packages it, he transports it to a place called a processing house where grading is done. From processing, it goes to retail. That's where contract farming comes. And from retail, it goes to consumers. So the technology that, I mean, the simple things that we can think of is food panda. Okay, when we order food, people deliver, right? Are they
Yeah.
married? So the problem is there's a mismatch between the demand and the supply. So there's enough of more than vegetables produced in Cameron Highlands. Problem is they didn't know where to sell it to.
Mm-hmm.
So the platform that's used to connect the demand and supply is called the digital supply chain.
Okay.
One of a good example by friends from Mardi is called Agro Bazaar. So the farmer, the moment he registers here, so let's say, Mr. Inlet, you Google and you're staying in Puchong, immediately it'll tell you, hey, near Puchong, these are the available farmers and these are the available vegetables. So you get it straight from them. That's a digital supply chain. At this point of time, there is a little bit of concern there because it's disconnected. So yes, the government, including MDEC, is heavily looking into it so that we get all these players. So it's a platform. So the moment Mr. Elon clicks a vegetable, you're able to see all the farmers. You're able to select which transportation, whether you want a bike or you want a lorry or you want a container to deliver, and then you pay. It's that digital way.
Okay. The last two questions, Mr. Narendran Rangasamy. For the last 5 years, I've been doing research on vertical farming for high-valued herbs in collaboration with University of Malaya. Do you see farming of this type of non-food products? I mean, where do you see this kind of non-product food products falling? It's under MDEC or other related agencies?
The moment it comes to digital, it would be MDEC. But again, when it comes to vertical farming, just back to my answer again, it's a bit costly. So until you find a secured demand, my suggestion, it's a challenge.
Okay.
I'm not saying don't do it, but make sure you find the right demand first, so that the moment if you produce 10 kilo, you know who wants to buy the 10 kilo. So make sure your demand meets the supply.
Okay. Next, Kala Mariappan from Facebook, I guess. Bagaimana perkembangan makanan ruminan sekarang seperti rumput nafia atau latest rumput untuk makanan ternakan? So he's asking your take on that.
So about grass growth or animal
grass,
feed?
Grass.
Animal
he's
feed.
asking about the latest, he's both like he's asking what is your take on rumput nafia or any latest grass for food? I mean for animal feed, correct?
Okay. I am not the best person to speak on that, but again, based on chicken poultry, right? Animal feed, they are trying to retrofit or organize it, or that's the word, to make it more organic. That means, how can I add coconut shells, grass, cereal products such as corn and all that? I mix it together. That's what it called a biomass composite, and then feed animals. So in terms of grass, I'm not too sure, but At this point of time, good example is Mardi is working on alternative food for chicken and cow. Goat, I am not too sure. But grass, what we think last time is cows, madana புல்லு சாப்பிடும். But that's old school. As technology evolves, they are looking at other ways to make sure cow gets more healthier, it's more organic. It's not only grass, they feed corn and whatever.
All right. Thank you, Naveen. I think we have reached the end of our session today. Um, so, as a parting message to our farmers or people of interest in agricultural, uh, poultry, or any of this, so what would be their takeaway message? What can you tell
Sure.
them? And also, please share your
Sure.
contact details so that any of them, if they want to get in touch with you, so they can contact you for further details.
Okay, this is the time I get a bit nervous because Dato Gopal and Dato ATK is actually on video, live video right now. Okay, so to answer number one, agriculture is something very close to the hearts of Indians. If நம்மளாலே முடியாட்டி யாருனாலே முடியாது. That's one. Number two, நிறைய பேர் வந்து perception. Mr. Ilan சொன்ன மாதிரி limitation வெளியே இல்லைங்க, limitation இங்க இருக்கு. Agriculture is not sexy. Wrong. Agriculture is sexy because it's a good business. It pays you well. You don't need to sweat to do agriculture. You digitalize to manage agriculture from home. You don't need to plant food yourself to eat. Nowadays, you go to Food Panda, you order. Everything this is actually a symbol of digitalization. At the same time, I'm not saying Tottama Kautama. You start step by step. But most of the time, Indians, Malaysians, you do not know where to go to. So here is where I'm telling for those technology, whether you're a technology company, whether you're a big, small, medium company, or whether you're a farmer, a retired person, whoever you are, as much as I can help, I will share my email address. If you have concerns on agriculture or you need some advice on what to do, who to go to, where to go to, how to do it, என்னால முடிஞ்ச அளவுக்கு, being an Indian myself, I will share my email address. Please do reach out to me. Again, ரெண்டு விஷயம், எனக்கு எல்லாம் தெரியும்னு சொல்லல, பட் எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சதை எல்லாருக்கும் ஷேர் பண்ணுறது தான் ஒரு நல்ல கொடிமகன் அழகுன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஸோ யா, ஸோ வித் தட் ஐ ஷேர் மை இமெயில் அட்ரஸ். ஐ டோன்ட், நிறைய பேர் வந்து கேட்டோம், ஓகே வீட்டில் வீட்டுக்கு அப்புறம் போய் தூங்குவான்னு இல்லை. If I can change the life of, there's about 26 people in this call. If I can change 10% of them to go into agriculture, heads off to me. So with that, வாழ்க விவசாயம். Thank you.
Thank you, Naveen. And if you talk about 26 people here, that is only on the webinar. The bulk of our viewers are on Facebook, and I think Selva is here. If you ask Selva, most of our FB viewers, I think some has even gone beyond 30,000, 40,000. So it's penny. Today is the recording, and over a period of time, there will be a lot of people watching this, and I hope it will be very, very helpful to all of them. Before we go take it off from live, Dato Gopal, do you want to say anything?
Yeah.
Dato?
Yes, hello.
Do you want to say anything as a parting message?
Obviously.
Solunga. But we can't see your video, Dato. Can you on your video?
No, you must get them to on.
Okay.
Okay.
கொஞ்ச நேரம் காண போயிட்டீங்க, அதான் நானும் பயந்துட்டேன்.
Anyway, thank you, Mr. Ilan, for hosting these things. And I'm actually glad to have Naveen here. Mr. Naveen, I'm really proud. And Tamil சொன்ன பொண்ணுமா பெருமைப்படுறேன். ஏன்னா ஒரு நவீன காலத்துல ஒரு மாஸ்டர் இன் எலக்ட்ரானிக், என்ன படிச்சிருந்தீங்க?
மாஸ்டர் இன் எலக்ட்ரானிக்ஸ் இன்ஜினியரிங்.
Something very you have already focused from the different although technology is there, by then basically your profession is a master in electronic. By then your passion for agriculture is such a great. I'm really astonished, looking forward to meet you personally. என்ன சொன்னீங்கன்னா after MCO நம்ம மீட் பண்ணுவோம்னு.
கண்டிப்பா.
I'm very much to meet you MDEC people, and also Actually, I've been talking to my people, especially Dr. ATK and the rest of them, that we should go and see Mardi as well.
Yes. Yes, Doctor.
Mardi is very much into my heart all the while, because I really wanted to go and bring my delegates to Mardi. But having you today, I think we must simultaneously go both places. And obviously, in conclusion, whether I'm right or wrong to say that, agriculture is one thing, and partnering with you all, which means bringing a digital approach, is another thing to enhance the value of the agriculture and also enhance the income. ஏன்னா தமிழ்ல சொல்ல போனா எக்ரிகல்ச்சரோட இப்போ உள்ள நவீன காலத்துல எக்ரிகல்ச்சரையும் நவீன முறையில நம்ம அணுகுமுறையை எடுத்துட்டு வந்தோமான்னு சொன்னா, நீங்க சொன்ன மாதிரி 1 ஏக்கர்ல 2 பேர் வேலைக்கு வைக்கிறோட ஒரு ஆளை வைக்கலாம். ஒரு ஆள் வைக்க போற நம்மளுடைய டெய்லி காஸ்ட் குறையிற நேரத்துல நம்மளுடைய வருமானம் நிச்சயம் அதிகரிக்கும். இந்த அடிப்படையில தான் பெரும்பாலும் நம்மளுடைய வியூவர்ஸ் இங்க இருக்காங்க. தொழில் துறையில ஈடுபட வேண்டிய மக்களுங்க ரொம்ப இருக்காங்க. வருங்காலங்களில் அக்ரிகல்ச்சர்ல ஈடுபடுறதுக்கு நல்ல வாய்ப்பு இருக்கிறது. Actually, this is a good opportunity for us to understand what is agriculture and whether it is difficult or Mr. Ilan சொன்ன மாதிரி it is a gone other days business. ரொம்ப வேறு வேலை நிக்கணும், கஷ்டப்படணும். ஆனா கஷ்டப்பட்டோட அதனுடைய வருமானம் தக்க ஒரு கூலியாக இருக்குமா இல்லையான்னு. ஆனா இப்ப நவீன காலத்துல அக்ரிகல்ச்சர் அமெரிக்காவை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் 40% agriculture business is great business there.
Yeah.
They are doing it. So why we cannot do it in Malaysia? Actually, loads of our Indian boys opportunities are there, available there. But technology அவங்க எடுத்துட்டு வந்து உள்ள விட்டாங்கன்னு சொன்னா இன்னும் வருமானம் அதிகரிக்கும். அது ஒரு மாடர்ன் அக்ரிகல்ச்சர். நான் சொல்ல போறமே, நீங்க அக்ரிகல்ச்சர் என்ன செய்றீங்கன்னா, மாடர்ன் அக்ரிகல்ச்சர் அது ஒரு பெருமைக்குரிய ஒரு விஷயத்த நம்ம அறிமுகப்படுத்தியிருக்கோம். இதுல இவ்வளவு நாள் இருந்திருக்கு. அதை வெளியே எடுத்துட்டு வந்து நம்ம ஒரு இந்த பேக்கேஜிங் அழகா செஞ்சு இப்படி செஞ்சா அழகா இருக்குமே, அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு உருவத்தை நீங்க கொடுத்துருக்கீங்க. நான் பெருமைப்படுறேன். அட்லீஸ்ட் அது யாரு சொல்றதுன்னு இருக்கு. ஒரு படிச்சவரை சொல்ல போறோம். அது ஒண்ணு பாத்தீங்களா, அவரு மாஸ்டர் செஞ்சிருக்காரு, அவரே அக்ரிகல்ச்சரை பெருசா சொல்றாரு. So I think we are at the right track. We are having you there. I'm very happy about that. It's a matter of time we are going to see you again.
Sure,
basically, we have spoken in length about agriculture. ஆனா கொஞ்சம் முடிஞ்ச நவீன், பிஃபோர் யோர் பார்ட்டிங் திங்ஸ், அக்ரிகல்ச்சர்ல நம்ம எது செய்யலாம்? சில்லி ஒண்ணு இருக்கு, காய்கறிகள் செய்யலாம், பூத்தோட்டம் செய்யலாம், பண்டான் கொக்கோனட் செய்யலாம். இந்த மாதிரி பல மாதிரி இருக்கு. நிச்சயம் வியூவர்ஸ்ங்களுக்கு தெரியணும் பல விஷயம். உதாரணத்துக்கு நம்மளுடைய ஒன் ஆஃப் அவர் மெம்பர் இன் கடா இது கார்ன் பெருசா செய்யறாரு.
ஆமா,
அவரும் ரொம்ப பெரிய விஷயம். அவர்லாம் ஆக்சுவலி ஐ அம் டேக்கிங் மை ஹெட்ஸ் ஆஃப் ஃபார் ஹிம் பிகாஸ் ஹி இஸ் ரியலி யங் பாய், இஸ் டூயிங் இட் இன் வெரி கிரேட் மேனர் அண்ட் எவ்ரிதிங். இஸ் ஐகான் ஃபார் அக்ரிகல்ச்சர். இந்த மாதிரி இருக்கு. ஸோ வித் தட் ஐ திங்க் you are our kind of God-gifted man today.
Thank you.
We sincerely hope to see you again.
Sure.
And definitely, I wish to engage with you again on the same in the Mari platform. I hope you can spend in future some time and your energy for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor.
Back to
Doctor, ஒரு கேள்வி கேட்டேன். அந்த கேள்வி கொண்டு நான் பதில் சொல்றேன். To the members out there, when you want to see digital, right? So 4000 வெள்ளி சம்பளம் எடுக்கிறத விட 8000 வெள்ளி எடுத்தா நல்லா இருக்கும் via digital. So 10 பேருக்கு வேலை கொடுக்கறத விட 20 பேருக்கு வேலை கிடைச்சா நல்லா இருக்கும் via digital. So தத்தோட கேள்வி ஒரே கேள்வி. So what can we start? மூணு things தத்தோ. If you want to start something very simple because you are very busy, you don't have time, something very easy to manage, go into vegetables. The word is hydroponics, organic farming. கேள்வி வந்துச்சுன்னா it's on vegetables, easiest to manage. If you want to earn something meatier, go into chili.
Okay.
But again, if you have that money, if you have that land, go into penternakan duanga சொல்லுவாங்க. You can go into aquaculture, fisheries. You can go into cow, goat or chicken. So penanaman, penternakan. So you can start with vegetable, easiest. You don't even have to worry, go back and water, it's all good. Number 2, you can start with chili. Number 3, if you have the time and you have the land and the money, go into penternakan, which is fisheries. Of course, the returns are much bigger.
For start, I'll take a chili first, with your guidance.
Definitely, Dato. Dato, this is the face. Maybe you'll see me with beard next time, but I'll be happy to engage with you all again. Not only to just shake hands, but to tell you, Dato, come, I'll take you to the site. Unga sonda kannala parunga what has been done. How digital can improve lives of Malaysians, productivity, participation, and everything. So
sure, I must be an exemplary first. I will definitely pick up with your offer first.
I will guide you, Dato. Don't worry.
Sure. I really appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
அதாவது நான் என்ன சொல்ல வந்தேன்னா, நம்ம பிரசிடென்ட் வந்து என்ன சொல்ல வராருன்னா, நவீன காலத்துல நவீனமான நவீன் வந்து நம்ம கிட்ட மாட்டிக்கிட்டாரு. சோ இதுக்கப்புறம் அவரை விட போறது
வாழ்க்கையில கேட்ட பெஸ்ட் தத்துவமே அதுதான்.
இதுக்கப்புறம் வந்து அவரை விட போறது இல்ல. So அதனால வந்து நவீன், thank you for your time. You know, it was a good session.
Thank you so much.
It was a good 1 hour we had here. And as a closing remark, I mean, what Naveen have said and our Dato President have said also, see, agriculture is definitely one of the most lucrative industry in the future. You know, in Nikiana, as I said earlier, I was also from the printing industry, and one of my friends, actually, I very particularly invited him, and he's here also, Chandrasekharan Armugam, he's among our group. He printing educate, now he slowly started going into agriculture. Mother chicken poultry ஆரம்பிச்சாரு. பட் என்னன்னா அவர் அந்த கேள்வி கேட்கல. நான் நினைச்சு கேட்பாரான்னு பார்த்தேன், கேள்வி கேட்கல. But anyway, I think probably he'll get in touch with you. So people are moving from one industry to another, and agriculture is one of the industry, because even now we go to any markets or supermarkets, hypermarkets, you can still see many of our products are still imported from overseas. You know, not because they are better quality, but it is not available here. The supply is not enough. The demand is more. So as such, this is actually a very good opportunity for our Indians to go into agriculture. And agriculture now, like what Naveen said, is not like what it was in the past. ஏன்னா அது வந்து சங்கோல இது பண்ணிக்கிட்டு எல்லாம் இன்றைக்கு உள்ள இது வந்து கேரளா உட்காந்துக்கிட்டு இது பந்திங்ல உள்ள ஃபார்ம் வந்து கரெக்டா தண்ணி கொடுத்துச்சா தண்ணி கொடுக்கலையா அதெல்லாம் வந்து நம்ம இன்னைக்கு செய்யலாம். அந்த டெக்னாலஜி நம்ம கிட்ட இருக்கு. ஸோ அந்த ட்ரோனை எப்படி ஆப்ரேட் பண்றது, and all this you do remotely. You don't have to be in your site. So this technology is here, and I hope members of MAICCI and also the general public use this opportunity. And I hope with the President's blessing, maybe we can probably do a visit to Kuala Langat, like what Naveen has said. And with that, we'll bring this session to a close. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, Knowledge Group. And thank you, Naveen, for your time. And we'll start bugging you from today onwards.
Pleasure.
Ilan, can we have Naveen for a while?
Yes, Ken. Naveen, you stay on.
Sure.
After this live session, you stay on for a while. Before that, our Dato Sek Jain want to say anything? Are you good?
Dato, mute, Dato.
You're on mute, Dato.
You're on mute, Dato.
Thanks,
okay.
Thanks, Naveen, and I think Dato President asked you to join us, but you might have to join us on the other link.
Okay.
Because our next, we tend to, we tend to work in silo.
Okay.
Okay. We'll share the link.
இப்போ பிரசாப்து மீட்டிங் எப்படி வந்து பிரைவேட்டா நடக்குதோ அந்த மாதிரி தான் நாங்களும் வந்து அடுத்த மீட்டிங் வந்து கொஞ்சம் பிரைவேட்டா செய்வோம்.
Okay, we'll share the link with you, Naveen.
Sure. So thank you, Mr. Silva. Thank you, Mr. Silva.
Thank you.
Great sharing, and
Thank you, Naveen.
thanks, Selva.
Thank you for the viewers, everybody.
Thank you.